All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today we're going to tear down something really cool, a custom-built business intelligence engine. This thing was created by Elias Andrade for an agricultural parts company called Zodi Agropex. And let me tell you, it's so much more than just a script. We're talking about a full-blown product, a real powerhouse for data analysis, built completely from scratch. So, let's just kick things off with a question that honestly probably hits close to home for a lot of you out there. Your company is sitting on a mountain of data, right? Terabytes of the stuff, but here's the real question. Do you have answers, or is it all just noise? Because that's the exact problem this custom engine was designed to fix. And that leads us perfectly into our first topic here, this classic situation of being data-rich but insight poor. It's a huge paradox for so many companies today. Oh man, you know exactly what this feels like, right? Just drowning in a sea of spreadsheets, spending hours, sometimes days, just manually copying and pasting, trying to make the numbers make sense. It's painfully slow, it's super easy to make a mistake, and the worst part, by the time you finally get an answer, the whole game has changed. You're always playing catch-up, just reacting, instead of getting ahead of the curve. So the big question is, how do you actually break out of that cycle? Well, this is where we pivot from the problem to the solution. And we're not talking about some expensive, off-the-shelf software that only kind of does what you need it to. Nope, we're talking about a completely custom-built BI engine. And here it is, the Zodi Agropeka's custom BI engine. This thing was built for one reason, to solve the specific problems Zodi Agropekas was facing. The two magic words here are bespoke and automatically. Bespoke because it's tailored perfectly to how they do business, and automatically because it just runs. No constant handholding needed. It just takes that raw data and turns it into pure strategic gold. And get this, before we even peek under the hood to see how it works, just look at the results it spits out. This is a quick look at the dashboard. Right away, bam, you've got your key metrics: total quotes, total value invoiced, how many unique customers you've served, unique products you've sold. This is the kind of stuff that turns a meeting from a bunch of I think and I feel into a real data-driven strategy session. Okay, so how does it actually pull this off? Well, the real magic, the core of this engine, is a pretty sophisticated data process called an ETL pipeline. ETL. It stands for extract, transform, and load. Think of it like a three-step recipe for turning messy data into something useful. First, you extract. The engine goes out and grabs all the raw data right from the source files. In this case, a bunch of Excel sheets with quotes and sales data. Then comes the most important part, transform. This is where the script works its magic. It cleans everything up, fixes errors, makes sure the formats are all the same, and basically gets the data ready for prime time. And finally, you load. It takes that shiny, perfected data and loads it into the final products, those awesome reports and dashboards. All right, let's talk tech for a second, because this shows you this isn't some simple little macro. This is a serious application. The whole thing is built on Python, which is the brains of the operation. Then you've got Pandas, which is like the heavy-duty machinery doing all the hard work of cleaning and organizing the data. For the visuals, it uses chart.js to create those cool interactive charts on the web dashboard. And for those super detailed reports, it uses a library called XLSX Writer to build professional-grade Excel files that you can really dig into. Okay, so we've seen the how. Now let's get to the what, the actual polished results that come out of this pipeline. We're talking intelligent dashboards and reports. And boom, you get visuals just like this instantly. A super clear, easy-to-read breakdown of sales by branch. You can see right away if one branch is crushing it or maybe another needs more support. Think about it. A single chart like this can answer questions that would have taken you hours of messing around in a spreadsheet just to even figure out how to ask. And it's not just a snapshot in time. The engine is fantastic at tracking trends, like you see here with the monthly sales chart. Is the business on an upward swing? Do you have busy seasons you need to plan for? This kind of analysis is the bedrock of forecasting and real long-term strategy. And again, it's all done automatically. Now, this is a really critical point. The engine actually gives you two different but equally powerful outputs. They're designed for different jobs. On one side, you have the interactive HTML dashboard. Think of this as your 30,000-foot view. It's perfect for managers who want to explore the data, click around, and spot high-level trends. But then on the other side, you get this detailed, formatted Excel report. This is for getting your hands dirty. It's for the deep dives, the nitty-gritty operational data that the teams on the ground actually need to do their jobs. Okay, this brings us to what I think is the most important part of this whole thing. The tech is cool, for sure, but what does it actually do for the business? What's the real impact? It's all about making a huge shift from being reactive to finally being proactive. And the difference is just night and day. I mean, look at the before, wasting hours in spreadsheets, making big decisions based on a gut feeling, and completely missing sales opportunities that were buried in the data. Now look at the after. You're getting insights in seconds, you're building strategy based on actual facts, and you have this incredible targeted sales intelligence that tells you exactly who to call and what to sell them. And this one feature, it's an absolute game changer. The dashboard has a dynamic search bar. Just picture this. A sales manager is about to hop on a call. They type in the client's name, and instantly their entire history pops up. Every quote, every purchase, all visualized in charts. What this does is it basically turns every single sales manager into their own data analyst. It puts the power right where it's needed most, in the hands of the people talking to customers. Okay, so let's zoom out for a minute. How does a custom solution like this stack up against everything else out there? What really makes it different? Well, when you actually lay it all out, the value just becomes crystal clear. Your old manual process, it's slow, it's clunky, it's not flexible at all. Then you have those big off-the-shelf BI tools. They can be powerful, sure, but they come with hefty subscription fees, and a lot of the time you have to change how you work to fit the software. But a custom engine, it's the best of all worlds. You get total flexibility because it was built just for you, the total cost is often lower in the long run, and most importantly, you get from data to relevant insight faster than any other way. And really, that's the main takeaway here. This is not just some tool that makes reports. It's a true strategic asset. Why? Because it's been tailor-made to fit the business logic of Zadi Agripeka's perfectly. It understands their data, it speaks their language, and it was built from the ground up to answer the questions that they actually have, not some generic questions that a software company thinks they have. So I'll just leave you with this one final question to think about. In today's world where data is king, the real question isn't, can we afford a tool like this? The real question is, what's the true cost of not having it? What's the cost in all those missed opportunities, all that wasted time, and all those decisions based on bad information? What's the cost of not having this kind of tailored intelligence on your side?